Hello, motherfuckers, and welcome back to my podcast. You are now tuned in to Bells Be Speaking. I am Coriel, your host. So that's Corey L or Cor E-L, aka Bells. And if you are not new here and you already knew my name, I just reminded you so you never forget it. But thank you for joining me here today for this episode. I'm very happy to have you here. I'm going to go ahead and make a few disclaimers before I jump into this episode, and then I'm going to just keep it moving. I do cuss, so if you don't like profanity and cursing and stuff like that, go ahead and click off. And if you don't like harsh opinions, or if you are someone that feels like your way and your view is like the right way only, then this is probably not going to be the place for you at all, because that's not how I operate. I'm going to say how I feel and stand on it, even if it's something that you consider to be insensitive. I don't fucking care. Go cry about it or talk to a therapist. Okay? So, for this episode, what I want to talk about is I just came across this video on TikTok on my For You page, and it's one of those things where when you've been thinking about something or something has crossed your mind a couple of times already, and then a few days later or not that long later you see something in real life, like on your TikTok page or Instagram or something, or if it's a car, you'll see a car on the street and it's exactly what you was thinking about. So what that was about is I was thinking to myself, the title of the text on the video says, some people won't support you after your glow up, because they think you're faking it. So this part in particular that crossed my mind the other day was, I just realized like a lot of the personality traits that I identified with, or a lot of the things that I identify with, is in terms of like how I describe myself and how I used to view myself internally as like my perspective of my state. A lot of those things came from, whether they were good things or negative things, right? A lot of that came from the labels that were placed on me by other people, more than what I considered. Like I said, once I realized that it was the good things, like the quote unquote, good things, good traits, good character qualities or whatever that you're supposed to have, like the things that it makes a good person, like the things that people say make a good person. Even those, like, oh, she's responsible, like she gets good grades. I've always identified as someone that got good grades, did good in school, like wasn't the problem one, wasn't problematic, like, stuff like that. But I realized, like, even that, a lot of that came from just the way, people in your environment describe you. And then when you grab these labels and hold on to them, they really shape who you are, because you choose to keep seeing yourself that way, right? To tie it into what I'm referring to with this particular video that I saw on TikTok, the girl was talking about how people will feel like, the version of you that they knew is the truth and who you really are. You know what I'm saying? They literally don't know. And if you know, like nobody really knows who you really are but you, right? And I know for a fact, for me, like I've always kind of had like different identities, because I had the way that I had to be on the outside to the people and the way I really wanted to be on the inside. And it was like a difference. It was like everything, the way I really wanted to dress and really wanted to act and really wanted to be how I really wanted to be, I always felt like it was distant, or I had to do it in the future. Like, once this happens, then I can do this, or when this happened, then I can do that. Like when this, then I can start being my real self. Like, I can't wait till this so I can start doing what I really want to do, being who I really want to be. Like I always have felt like, and it has always been the case for me. I'll talk about this more in another episode, but I'm someone that daydreamed a lot and used to do a lot of escapism stuff, because I was always like having to be different than who I really wanted to be. I was always somewhere I didn't want to be. It's like I'm starting to remember different things that I kind of suppressed in my memory from in my childhood, and it's like it's dawning on me, like I never really liked either one of my parents, like except for when I was little, like a little girl, right? I can remember being a little tiny person that, like, I want my mom, I want my dad. But then once I hit like 7 or 8, I'm, able to start like developing my own like view of the world outside of just the baby view, and I'm seeing like how I'm interacting with my parents. This has been going on for years now, like at least 7 years, at least 8 years. Like, I'm used to you now. I see who you are. I see how you act. Now I'm starting to develop a different relationship with you. Like, it's a different developmental stage, right? And it was always like, all throughout my life, well, up until this point, I had to just like weigh my options and just take the least worst option, if that makes sense. Like, I didn't want to live with either one of my parents, for example. I didn't like living with my dad because the way his household was, the way he was as a person, the things he believed, the type of family that he came from, like, I just didn't like living there. You know what I'm saying? I didn't like living with him, right? And then on the other hand, when I got with my mom, I didn't like living with my mama either. But it was just less bad than living. It wasn't as bad as living with my dad, but it was bad, and it was still bad in other areas as well. So even when I was in like 6th grade, I would be like, I was already planning and looking up apartments and doing apartment hunting and shit like that. Like, that's why I can literally manifest an apartment now, or get an apartment within a snap of a finger if I want one, because I've been knowing the process of how to get a place since I was freaking 10, 11, 12 years old, like especially 12, because I was in 6th grade when I was 12. But I've always been saying, like, ever since then, like, I can't wait till I turn 18 so I can move out and I don't have to live with either one of my parents. And if I had it my way, like, I was looking into getting emancipated and everything so I didn't have to deal with either one of them, because I didn't like it, right? And because I've always knew and felt that, like, I felt that the burden of like having to push back who I really was and push back on my potential, because I'm in an environment and around people where I can't be my real self. I can't be my true self. I can't say how I really feel. I can't act the way I really want to act, right? And so then you develop this identity, and it's not just your parents, right? Because those are not the only two people I've ever been around in my life. I've been around lots of people, right? Teachers, administrators, classmates, cousins, uncles. You've been around more people than just your parents. But I feel like because of the role that they play and the way that my parents were, it shaped my perspective more. Just like is normal for everybody. Like, your parents shape your perspective of the world more because they are the ones that like usually are in charge of like the discipline or whatever, or like the like in charge of you more than anybody else. So it's kind of like they are the ones that kind of stay there as the pillar. Whereas the pillars that were supposed to be there for me, it was never any type of like respect there. It was like, not respect as in like I was disrespecting my parents, but just respect as in like a good human interaction or relationship with people was never good with either one of them. So that shaped my perspective as well, because their view of the world and their view of how things should be and what their parents said to them and stuff like that, I always have known that it was wrong and that I didn't believe in it or didn't agree with it myself. But it was like survival skills, like doing what you need to do so you could basically have a place to stay, because you can't get your own place if you ain't 18, right? And then if you run away, shit, I was in Texas for the majority of my childhood. Texas always side with the damn parents because they need the parents' tax money to pay their damn bills, pay for their roads. You know, the police officers, they get paid off tax dollars. So if taxes ain't being paid and parents ain't doing what they need to do for kids, and the kids ain't in school because they done ran away, that means somehow, some damn where, if the parents don't get their way, the damn legal system ain't gonna get their way. Like, my paycheck gonna be messed up. You gotta listen so they can keep doing what they need to do. It gets deep, right? But I knew even then, like when I was little, and I could see, like, again, like the survival skills, like this is what I have to do and this is who I have to be for me to survive and to be safe, quote unquote. My point in what I'm saying all of this for is, people won't even see the depth of who you are or why you're acting that way, because for one, they're not you. The reason why I'm saying this is because it ties into what the lady said in the video and in the comment section, right? Like, people will get tied to, or they will feel most comfortable with, or they'll miss the version of you that they had the most control over, or that they felt the most comfortable with, because it didn't trigger them. Like, you were easier to control. You didn't ruffle as many feathers. Like, you were more that version that was more acceptable to them or more believable. A lot of times, even if it was to your like detriment. Like, you know, for me, the personality and the versions of me that my parents and people that are like, oh, I remember when Corey used to be like this. I can't believe Corey. And it's like, bitch, I just kind of laugh to myself a little bit when they say it, because it's like, I can't blame them necessarily. But it's like, bitch, shut the fuck up. Like, you don't know me. Like, and y'all really have never known me. If people really were to think about it and be real with themselves, that claim that they know me and how I used to be, I didn't even really fucking interact with them like that. I was very, very introverted as a kid, and that was not for no coincidental reason. Like, I stayed away from people, and that's part of the reason why now my personality is kind of avoidant, because again, the personality that they saw when I was interacting was one that was timid and scared and nervous and doing what I needed to do, because I wasn't protected. I was actually abused a lot, so I was nervous, anxious, and stuff like that, and dimming myself down, dimming my light, dimming my personality, dimming who I knew and felt inside that I really am and always really wanted to be, because I could not be that safely. I would be chastised. I would be belittled. I would be put down. I knew I would get in trouble. It would be, you know when to, like, you learn very quickly as a kid how to keep yourself safe. So if by me being this different personality and acting this certain way, and if it might be the good girl archetype, it might be the nice, quiet, like, don't ruffle feathers, the people pleaser. That's what I'm saying. You develop into a people pleaser and change yourself, or you shadow yourself and put a mask over yourself and present this personality, and you be this person because that's what you need to do so you don't get in trouble. Whole time, you know inside who you really want to be, but you feel like, okay, I'll do this later on, because right now, for some reason, it's not okay for me to be that way. You know what I'm saying? And so when people say like, oh, like I remember when they used to be like this, I remember when they used to be like that, they don't even know the full fucking depth of why you was that way. So it's really fucking funny to me when people try to sit up and be like, you know, like, they'll try to discredit you, or they'll try to discredit someone's change or growth or their evolution or their glow up, because they don't buy it necessarily. It's like, oh, she faking it. I remember when they used to be like that. Like, ain't no way, because they haven't changed, right? They can look back at their lives and see that they've been a piece of shit, a fucked up bitch with a fucked up mindset. People been treating them wrong all they fucking life. Ain't nothing really changed except for the year or the location, but ain't shit about them really changed. So in their mind, people don't change. Right? Those are usually always the ones that's like, that don't believe it. When they see someone change themselves for the better, they always the one that's doubting, because they know themselves, they ain't growing, they're stagnant, and they're literally, quite literally, either not growing and just being there, or getting worse. It's always the motherfuckers that ain't doing shit with their life, like the porch talkers. I remember JT said this on a post, like the porch motherfuckers that'll sit on a porch and sit on their phone and gossip and have or in a break room or something, and gossip and have whole full-blown conversations, or in the fucking living room about the people that's really outside doing the work, making the moves, getting shit done. You on the sidelines talking shit about the people that's actually in the game, winning the game, making moves. You know what I'm saying? You talking shit about, or not buying it, or not wanting to support. And it's not even like, this is not a rant about people not supporting me. This is more so about, it's like they're like in disbelief or something. Like, it's not really about support, because I don't care about having support or any type of interaction from people that don't show up any type of way other than what I want. However, it's like, those are the ones that don't believe it or don't buy it, or they just can't fathom the fact that you really are who you are now, and that you can like stand up on your full 10 with the shit that you've done and it really be who you is. Like, no, it's not no fucking gimmick. Yes, they'll try to find some type of flaw or some type of reason as to why it's not true, because they just can't wrap their mind around the fact that you really are this great, or that you really did like get better, because they haven't. They still feel like shit. They still feel like a failure. They still feel like nothing that I do works out. Everything goes wrong, and they keep getting evidence of it. So they feel like if I'm like this, then everybody is like this. Those the ones that be pessimistic. So seeing you grow and seeing you not only, what's really they're seeing is the fact that most times if you growing like that and you done evolved and got better and better and better, or every time they look up you getting better and better, I can probably almost guarantee you that they see that change happening once you took them out of your life, once you removed yourself from them, once you stop being around them, stop interacting with them. These are usually people that you don't interact with like that no more. So they really see you, oh damn, she moved away, or he moved away, or he stopped coming around, she stopped coming around, and then now you get better. Like, damn, you took me out of your life and then shit got better for you. Oh, I really don't buy it now, because then now what does that really say? That you left me behind. You doing better than me. You outgrowing me. You passed me up. So of course I'm gonna not believe it and not want to see it, or be like nah, because I low key I'm like dumbfounded, and that's not our personal problem. Like, what my point is like, you really cannot, even if it's good things, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, he's responsible, he always was like head straight, he never played, or she never did this. Like, you got to be very conscious with the things that you choose to identify with, even if you think they're good traits, because you got to think about it. You got to observe the things that people in society in your past, what they have labeled as like what's good and what's bad, because people label things and categorize things as good or bad based on what's beneficial to them. So if it's not, I mean, if you like being how you are or whatever, then cool. But look at it, like, think about it. Like, how is me being like, oh, I'm the responsible one? Like, let's say you identify as like, oh, I'm the responsible one. I'm the one that's always on myself, always doing this. I never have no fun. I never make no time for this. Like, why do you keep identifying as that? Why do you think that's what makes you a good person? That's what your parents told you. Your parents or your mom might have told you made you good, because she didn't have your daddy in a fucking picture. So you being responsible was good for her, like beneficial to your mother, because that was one less thing for her to have to worry about. And she could rely on you to damn near be the second parent and watch your siblings and do her job, because she wasn't there because she had to work. So you being responsible and identifying as a responsible person that never has fun was solely for her benefit. And it's not like it didn't benefit you or your siblings as well. But think about that. That cost you your childhood experience. Because I know a lot of people that's like the oldest child can relate to this, right? You didn't have the time to be a kid and to really just have fun and be free and enjoy yourself. So you might struggle now with feeling like you deserve to do something fun. You might struggle now with feeling like, oh, it has to be a special event or something serious or something like spontaneous for me to have fun. I got to always be on it. I got to always be this for me to be right and for me to be good. But that could be robbing you of your joy. Just like you got robbed of your childhood. But you think that makes you a good person because this person told you, oh, this is what it means to be right. Now you've been being good. You've been doing good. You know what I'm saying? So, and then going back to the point that I was making, I know I'm talking all around in circles, but that's just how my brain works. If you keep up with it, then oh well. The ones that get it. But yeah, like, people won't even realize the fact that who you were was who you were showing up as, because that's who you had to be. And it's not, I don't owe nobody no motherfucking explanation for a motherfucking thing, bitch. Believe it or don't. Ain't nobody asking you to watch a motherfucking thing. You really don't need to be watching shit. You need to be looking at your damn self. If anything, if it's any growth you need to be noticing or glow ups that you need to be noticing, it's your motherfucking own. If anything, you noticing mine or the lack thereof for someone else or whatever means you worried about the wrong shit. Why the fuck are you looking at another company's quarterly or yearly or annually projected sales. That ain't gonna help you bring in no sales for your fucking business. You need to look at your whiteboard and your calendar and your planner and your fucking growth tracker and habit tracker to see how far you are growing while you sitting up trying to discredit somebody else's or be like, downplay it or talk down on somebody else's growth because you can't fathom that somebody else is doing what the fuck they're supposed to do and you still miserable and getting worse. Ain't shit really changed but the day and the year because you ain't changed. You know what I'm saying? Let's say in high school, y'all call somebody, oh, she was the weird girl, right? Like you label somebody as the weird girl. And this is not me. This is just an example. Oh, I remember her. She was the weird girl. She always had her hair real long and she would always like pull it over her face, tuck it behind her ears. And she wore real long sleeve shirts to school every day, even if it was hot outside and she never talked to nobody. So then let's say that girl grow up, right? And then out of high school, she graduate. Now she on a cover of magazines. Now she doing women empowerment, leading events and shit like that. And everybody from her hometown sitting up like, what? Girl, bye. You remember her? Girl, her weak ass. She used to be like this and that. Bitch, you don't even know that the way she was being is because she was being abused at home. So she's covering up bruises on her arms and covering up marks and shit that was on her face. And she was told that if she told anybody, it was going to be worse and that her mama was going to get killed or something because the daddy was a drunk. You don't know why the fuck somebody is being like that. You know what I'm saying? That they might be like, oh, all she did was write in her journal. She could have been sitting down writing in her journal all of the shit that she's doing now in real life because she has the freedom to do so, you dumb bitch. That's part of the reason why, aside from her parents saying, oh, you can't talk in school, you can't have no friends, part of it also could be she know that how she's being right now is not who she really want to be. She don't want to step out unless she really doing it. So who the fuck are you to think that the version that you are most familiar with is the one that's the ultimate truth, as if you the damn ruler of some damn body? Bitch, please. You do not fucking know me. And if you listening to this because you are familiar with me, Coriel Bells, the speaker, girl, please grow the fuck up. And you will see very fucking quick. Like, I am not tied to nobody's view of me, nobody's perception of me. I don't have to be no motherfucking way. I don't have to be a people pleaser. I'm here to please me. I was only being that way because as a kid, you got to do certain shit so you won't get in trouble. Like, it was like damn near life or death damn near for me. Because it's like, if I'm not here, where am I going to go? In my head as a kid. Now, girl, I'm grown as fuck. Like, I'm not going to do nothing that I don't have to do. Like, and I always said, like, oh, I can't wait till I turn 18 so I can move out. And I moved out. Like, stop playing. Quit trying to box people in because you done put yourself into a motherfucking box some damn where. You know what I'm saying? We are not, I'm damn sure not. And you are not tied to somebody's view of you. If you want to reinvent yourself and change yourself, then fucking do it. You are not limited to people's perspective of you. People can't even see past the perspective of them that they have of themselves to the next year. They couldn't even tell you who they see themselves being within the next 5 years. How the fuck they gonna see who you really are? You ask a motherfucker right now, who are you gonna be and what are you going to be doing? Not want to be doing, actually living, doing, and breathing in the next 10 years. Ooh, shit, I couldn't even tell you. And you think this person is supposed to, what they say or how they are is like supposed to influence you in the way you think and act and how you feel about yourself and who you are? Like, oh, this is not me. Says who? The motherfucker that can't stop reminiscing on shit from high school? Your uncle or your sister or your cousin or whatever that never made it past college or certain mark in the community, and now they just sit up and talk about everybody else's highlights. That's the motherfucker that you finna tell you who you really is? No. And then I'm like, okay, this makes sense because I've largely, like, I was, if not 100%, I really stayed about a good 98% have detached from a lot of the old, like, carcasses of who I used to be. You know, like, because I never wanted to have to be that girl in the first place. Like, I'm really realizing now, like, damn, like, I'm really, I would say starting to be, but I can't even say starting to be because I am her. But just as I started off saying, I'm really starting to be the girl that, like, in the way that I always wanted to be. But I'm doing it. I always wanted to be free, but I'm really seeing, like, okay, I really am being who I really wanted to be. Like, I'm not having to have a distinction between my real life and the life that I want. You know, like the people I'm around and the people that I want around. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have to make a distinction no more. I don't have to live a double identity no more. I can be who I want to fucking be. You know what I'm saying? And that might be the case for you. You can expand yourself and move away from certain people and then have so much more relief and see so many different sides of life, and then you really start coming out your shell. And of course they're not going to believe it because they didn't see it. But why would they see it? Why would they want to see a version of you that triggers them when they are used to a version of you that was like easy to toy with? You know what I'm saying? And that might not be the case for you, but you might have just stayed out the way. Now you might be a trigger for somebody because you everything that they not and everything that they wanted to be, and they just can't fathom the fact that they never thought that you had that potential. But that's the good thing about not being defined by what other people say or how other people see you. Because if it was up to them, for me, girl, please. And you really got to be like, girl, fuck you. Like, that's really what I be wanting to say. Like, oh my God, like, Corey, I can't believe it. Like, girl, shut the fuck up. I was depressed as hell. Depressed, anxious, always felt like I had a lump in my fucking throat. I could cry right on the spot all the fucking time. My childhood was horrible. Childhood, young adult years, as like a high school, all of that shit. And thankfully, I rewired that shit. But I think, like, that's the reason why now I'm 22. And even though I've been grown for 4 years, because I've been, you know, you grown when you turn 18, I'm just now really starting to see, like, okay, I am being who I really wanted to be. Because for the last 4 or 5 years, because I graduated at 17, so that's 5, you know, I've been working on my healing and shit from the shit that I experienced, and fully have been, you know, stepping into the person that I wanted to be. But it took a while for me to really get out of who I was, because it was so lodged in there, because that's who I had to be for survival. And when it comes for survival and you're stepping out of a identity that you had to keep you safe, that feels so unsafe, right? But that's the beauty of it. I'm glad that I have gone through this process, because now it's like, I'll be damned ever again. Girl, bye. You don't know me. You don't know. You know who I want you to know. How about that? And that's really what it is. To just bring it back to make my point, don't take it as though like you're not doing something right, and don't feel like that's a big reason as to why you can't be swayed or pay too much attention to how people are reacting to you or not reacting to you, or it really don't fucking matter. It doesn't fucking matter. Like, let's be, at the end of the day, when I'm going through my daily life and like making my decisions and shit, none of this shit matters. I don't give a fuck about you, really. I'm just saying, just for the talking point, like, oh, she's always been so this. You've always been so nice. And I remember when you were this big, and I remember when you was like this, and da-da-da-da. And then hearing that sometimes and resonating with it, if you ain't careful enough, sometimes that'll like still shape your perspective and your view of yourself. You know, like, oh, you used to be shy, you used to be timid. But if you are claiming to be now, like, no, I'm confident. Like, I am confident, and you are confident. Constantly having somebody try to remind you of when you were a different type of way because they don't want you to be this way now, that will kind of make you slip back into that out of like a slick type of way, if that makes sense. And it's like, shut the fuck up. If you allow it, right? It's always up to you. It's always up to you. That'll just be because people, like I said, are familiar and more comfortable with that. Like, that version of you that you were before was more beneficial to them somehow. But that is not your responsibility to be. You're not here. It's not my responsibility to be here to be beneficial to you. Even if you do consider yourself the provider or whatever the fuck the case may be, I was not born for you. I was born for me. I'm my own damn individual. I'm not joined at the hip with you. No. We are all individuals on individual journeys and everything like that. So, I was not born to be a fucking people pleaser. My personality, my identity, not here to not trigger or to be soothing to you or to be comforting. No. That's your own fucking personal insecurities that you need to go on and deal with. It is my responsibility to clearly define who I am and to stand on that and to show up every fucking day, whether it ruffles feathers, whether people are just like, oh, like, so what if people say, you never used to be like this before? So fucking what? They are the co-stars and the extras in the movie, and you are the main character and the damn director and the damn producer of the movie. Who gives a fuck what the extras have to say? If the main character is talking in the scene and you are an extra in the back of the grocery store on another aisle, who gives a fuck that you saying, oh, I remember when you only used to wear black shirts, now you wear white shirts all the time. Shut the fuck up. So what? I can wear whatever the fuck I want to wear. Do you want to be in this damn movie as an extra or not? Because you don't have to be in my fucking life. You can be removed. I can replace you with another fucking extra that look better, act better, and got a better fucking smile, bitch. Do not limit yourself to who people tell you are or who you need to be, or, oh, it was better when you was like this, or even if they don't buy it, if somebody try to discredit you, you know how much fucking work you done on yourself. Don't ever try to let nobody make you feel like you ain't that, or they'll try to. People really be trying to steal confidence and shit because they don't want you to have it, because they don't have it themselves. Hence the reason why they focused on how you feel about yourself in the first place. Because people that don't feel good about themselves don't want other people to feel good about themselves either. They want people to be right down there with them. Fuck them. And define yourself as whoever the way you want to be. It's so many people I know that are flabbergasted. Like, I can't believe she just confident. I've always been this way, but I couldn't be bold and say what I really wanted to say, because I was growing up around narcissistic, insecure ass, failure ass people that will snap on you and take their frustrations out on a kid at any given second because life was too busy beating their ass, or their partner was beating their ass, or they was unhappy with life. So an easy target like me, a kid, would get the back end of that if I was to just stand up and challenge them, because I've always been who I am. I've always been intelligent. The way I'm speaking now, the way I'm able to have conversations now, and I can make a point now, I have literally always been this way, and I have always had the intelligence. But I knew that if I said what I really wanted to say and just be like, oh, well, we can agree to disagree and be mature on their level, you can't do that as a kid and be that way as a kid in a black community, the black community I grew up in, because they still fucking mentally kids them damn selves and ignorant as fuck. Like, again, you become who you have to be safe. But when you step out, then you become different. And that is who you are. Like, that defines you. And if you are somebody that didn't have to go through that phase of changing yourself or having to be a certain way to be accepted growing up, consider yourself as someone that started off at the right spot, at the start of the start of the race, at the starting line, as normal. And the people like me that had to be different or had to twist and mold themselves and become people pleasers and not say this and walk on eggshells and shit, the race of life, or the marathon of, or just the journey, I guess, instead of starting at the starting line where y'all started, we got pushed behind. I had to start some yards back, some feet back, and then walk through life and then get back to the line, like by rewiring stuff, working on myself, shadow work, whatever you want to call it, going through realizations and epiphanies and shit like this, and reclaiming my power so that way I can walk up to the starting line. You get what I'm saying? And then now I'm past the starting line. I'm already on my journey, but I'm just saying it's a difference when you start off with people who you wouldn't have picked to be around if you had the choice, right? Like, if we could pick who we came through this world to and whatever, a lot of us would have picked different. I know for a fact I would have picked everybody damn different. And I ain't got no shame about it. I don't give a fuck. Like, we all would have picked who we differently if we put, a lot of people would have, some people wouldn't have. And if you wouldn't have changed it, then good for you. But I would have changed every last motherfucking person, and I don't care. But, you know, when you come in around certain environments, that's just what influences you, because that's the cards you was dealt. So if my cards deal me, like, you know how when you play Uno, it's like, okay, now you got to draw 2 cards. Now you got to draw 3 cards. Instead of you being starting off like the regular Uno players with 7 cards, we automatically got to draw an extra 4 or 5, because we growing up around insecure ass people that didn't need to have kids in the first fucking place. You get what I'm saying? So this identity that I have to be while I'm holding all these extra cards and forced to be around these people while I'm growing up is just who I had to be. Or whether it was in a work environment, or whether it was in a relationship, or at a school, or whatever. Like, whoever you were, I'm pretty sure you had your reasons as to why you were that way. And then if you actually change. Now, there are some people that are faking it. This ain't for them. Because the ones that's faking the change, I feel like they know different than the ones that's trying to discredit the change. If you read into it. But for the people like me that actually have done the work, and actually, even if it ain't no work to be done, you actually are authentic in your change and being who you are, or embracing it, or whatever, and it's just hard for them motherfuckers to believe, and they flabbergasted, like, then that's just their problem. So yeah, that's just what I want to say. I think I've made my point pretty clear. Let me pull up the screenshots. I took some screenshots of the comments. These few comments that really stood out to me. I think I touched on them already. Let me see. Yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to say. Like, people just will get more attached to the version of you that they're more comfortable with, that's not a trigger for them. Like, the way people respond to you shows you everything about them and really nothing about you. Because everything in this world is neutral until you perceive it. And then your perspective is going to tell you what it is. And since everybody's eyes are different, mine is different. Just like the saying, everybody views art differently. Literally, everybody views the world and each person differently, because your perspective shapes that thing. But it's literally everything in terms of matter is like fundamentally the same. It's all of that to say, it don't really make no fucking difference if a bitch or a group of people that's pathetic as fuck sitting up in a group chat screenshotting pictures and looking at a motherfucker page that they claim they don't like, but so fucking addicted to that they can't even stop watching. Or, you know, in secret, it might not be a group chat, it might just be knowing you don't like somebody secretly. And me, since it's my fucking podcast, you sitting up listening to my shit, knowing that you don't like me, and or you get irked, just that demon in your spirit, or that bitterness and sadness and insecurity in your spirit. That's why you get so fucking irked when you see me smiling and just glowing and having a good time, because you know you a piece of shit. You know that I just have this, you don't know what it is. It's just everything that you not, everything that you want it to be. That fucking glow, that love that I get. And then you see that and you don't like it, but you, for some reason, you just can't stop fucking watching. You can't stop listening. Because look at your dumb ass. You don't even like me, yet you addicted to me. Stupid as fuck. And then want to turn around and try to say, oh, she ain't who she say she, or don't want to try to buy it that somebody is who they say they are. Like, you just can't fathom that somebody can be that confident. What does that fucking say about you? Why is somebody being confident hard for you to believe? If anything, that says a lot about you. It should be you saying somebody going through a hard time and struggling and not being loved and supported is hard to believe. Oh, but it's easy to believe that. You will easily believe that somebody down and out, insecure, not happy. You will easily believe in something bad in a second, right? Oh, if it's some drama, some negativity, somebody going through a hard time, I knew it. Your evil eye projecting ass, wanting people to be bad and want people to go through hard shit and be depressed and unhappy, and you just can't fathom that motherfuckers is loved because nobody loved your stupid ass. Nobody treated you right. you don't have a good life. Your life is miserable. So you want other people to be experiencing it. So you don't feel so bad about your damn self as much. It make you feel more comfortable if you feel like other people, if other people getting treated like shit, then maybe I'm not so bad. That says a lot about you. Thinking that it's more believable for somebody to be insecure than secure. Because if you was happy, it would be easier for you to believe that they was happy too. And that things are going good for them. And that, they just want sympathy. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, yeah. Think about that too. When y'all hearing people or seeing that people might not want to take you serious or consider that who you are is what you really say you are. Think about that. Like, why is it so easy for this person to think the negative, think worse, the worst, or assume negative? What the fuck have you been through? Like, who hurt you? You need to go fucking heal, because the way you viewing other people and what you trying to project onto other people show everything about yourself. You think, she got to be doing something. She got to be doing something strange for some change, because nobody genuinely gave a fuck about you ever in your life. So anytime somebody gave you some money, you had to do something for it, right? That's what you're saying, right? That's what you're saying, right? You ain't never just had somebody just be like, here you go, baby, put some change in your pocket. I love you. I'm proud of you. I'm happy to have you here. I'm just glad to see you. Let me know if you need anything. I want you to be able to, if you need anything, I got you. You ain't never had nobody just genuinely love you to pieces where they will supply all your needs. You probably done grew up around motherfuckers that wouldn't give you the shirt off their back if they had 10 more of them bitches in the motherfucking dresser at home. So you assume that everybody else get treated that way with your bitter ass. You ain't never had somebody actually commit to you and really want to be with you and treat you right in a relationship. So you just assume, he gotta be that relationship is too good. It gotta be something. I knew it. It had to be something, because you just assume that, if nobody loved me, then it ain't no way that she could be loved. Bitch, quit projecting and go heal. Go fucking heal. Go talk to the lady. Everybody ain't drugged through the mud like you. Some people actually are appreciated and are loved and are valued and are cared about. Just because you had to give it up or be degraded and still not have enough money and still had to make a lot happen with a little bit, even after you gave yourself up, because you already feel like you not enough. So people was treating you like you wasn't enough, which is really what you're saying. Which is you really saying, I'm not enough, so ain't no way that they could be enough. That's really what you saying. And that's what you projecting every time you say some shit like that. If y'all really knew what the fuck you was saying. But I digress. Let me go back and bring it down to simple levels, because I know you probably won't be able to wrap your mind around that. You really just projecting about yourself. No, the fuck it don't. Yes, it can be genuine. Yes, somebody can have actually worked their ass off or have just got something. And no, it don't have to be no fucking explanation for nothing. Yes, some people can have fucking changed. Yes, some people are actually happy. No, I'm not faking my confidence, because you faking your confidence, because you know if people saw how insecure you was, they will look at you as if you weak. They will see that you're weak. I'm not you. So quit projecting onto these people, onto me, onto people that you monitoring. You looking on their fucking page every day. You got to see what they got going on. Or anytime you hear about somebody, whether it's a stranger or whatever, you always quick to put a fucking negative opinion on something, because you just got to bring other people down to that miserable ass level that you at. Girl, guy, bye. Stop. And that is all I got to say on this episode. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. I love you. They love me. And if you don't, why the fuck is you listening anyway? Okay? Thank y'all for listening. I will see you on the next episode. Toodles. Mwah.